Welcome to the first episode of Judged by Blind Eyes. I'm going to be going through some photos that you guys sent me in, giving you my feedback and judging them, and let's get right into it. The first one here by 39 Exposures. We can see we've got a deliberate overexposure here on the archways, and it's got a nice, you could kind of say that's in the rule of thirds composition, but it's pretty central. I like the way he's isolated and he stands out because of the overexposed archway. There's some nice subtle shadows here, and he's walking. He's got his feet up, which is always good. It's best to when you're taking photos of someone walking, you want to get their foot up instead of them together, because it just looks awkward and doesn't look like they're walking at all. Overall, the lighting's pretty good. Some people would think that this is bad because it's overexposed. Well, there's no rules in photography. If it looks good, it looks good, and he's obviously gone for this look, and I think it works really well. So I'd give this picture maybe a 6.5 or 7 out of 10. It's not spectacular, but it's creative and it works. On to the next one. This one is by Robert Smith. We've got a nice perfect rule of thirds, perfect legs apart. We can see this is shot at narrower aperture. So like I'd assume maybe f8, f5.6, because we can see pretty much everything's in focus here, and he's probably shot at a high ISO. So we've got perfect rule of thirds here, some perfect blacks, some nice reflections on the ground, and it really, instead of it being completely blurred, we can actually see what's going on in this picture. So it says Armin Ginza Tower. I don't know, some clothing shop by the looks of it. Yeah, this shot's pretty good fine art, as they call it. I'd give this an 8 out of 10. It's pretty well done. It's good composition, good exposure, and the depth of field is perfect for it. Next. This one is by CGY Photography. This one doesn't really do it for me off the bat. Firstly, it just looks like an awkward shot. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a posed shot or someone's just walked by, but it's completely wrong placement in the light. First of all, like, you've got this L shape, right? Obviously, I'm guessing it's through some, like, there's a building and there's some trees or a bush here. And he's timed it completely wrong. You should have had it more to the left here, where the shadows, where the highlights are, so you can actually get him in detail. And probably timed it a bit better to have his arms a bit more out. I'm not sure, but this looks like maybe it was shot on a 50mm or something. I would have went wider. Yeah, this shot doesn't really. It's the concept's there, but you haven't executed it properly. So this one gets a 3 out of 10. I'm only giving you 3 points because you tried. Otherwise, yeah. Next. This one is by Cormick Photography. Now, this one I actually do like. This reminds me of that shot of the tank in China. I'm not sure if you've seen it. I'll put it on screen now. Of when, I don't remember what the story was. It was in the 80s, I think, or the 70s or something. And someone's walking with their shopping cart. There was like a big protest or something. And the guy stood on the tank, and it's just real isolated. Anyway, forget about that. I really like this shot because of the high angle it is, and just because of the complete. It looks like it's an apocalyptic world. You've got the two people here on the right. You've got the dog on the left. It reminds me of the movie with Will Smith, I Am Legend. So yeah, this is actually really cool. It's framed perfectly, mostly central. I'm pretty sure that's pretty central. And you've got a perfect composition. I'd give this a solid 7 out of 10. It's framed well, it's exposed well, and yeah, everything about it works. So well done. Next, we have got Derek Dallow. This one, okay, off the bat, it's done really nicely, and it's a good concept. You've got the nice rule of thirds. You've got, you know, the rule of thirds in diagonal aspect. He's on his phone. He's isolated. It's a nice kind of shadowy day. Now, what I would have done when I approached this subject is I would have done something similar like this, but I would have angled the camera up a bit more, because that water there, it just, for me, it's too distracting and it takes away from that original form. So the eyes are going to work its way from left to right, which is how we read, right? And as soon as it goes into that water, it kind of just makes the first part of the image not make sense. But other than that, it's a nice composition. Just I personally would have probably put him in the top right corner and angled it up a bit, just to make it make a bit more sense and a bit more balanced. So that's that one. I'd give this one a 7 out of 10 as well. So good job, just need to execute it a bit better. This one is by Jasmeet Singh. Now, honestly, this is a really good photo. Alright. This is a wide angle. I'm gonna guess 28mm, 24 at the most. I'd say 28. We've got a whole scene here. This is an awesome shot. This is some Steven Spielberg kind of shit. So your eyes are drawn to this kid with the water bottle and the older guy to the right. Firstly, then as your eyes work around the scene, you can see the guy bending down, possibly, I don't know, digging a hole or doing something. They're all doing something. And you go to the left, you've got some guy, he's got his hand over there. I don't know what they're doing, but there's something happening here. Then you got the three people sitting on the floor. One's got the mask on. But what really makes this image come together is the negative space there. And what's happened here is there's a flock of birds, heaps of birds here, and it's just filled the space completely, really balanced. And yeah, the whole composition of this, the whole like circle of it is perfect. I'd honestly give this one a 9 out of 10. So well done, Jasmeet. Very good. Next one up is by Kid Sod Brennan. Now, this is awesome. This is some really good fine art. This is a classic example of utilizing negative space and highlights. I think it's what you call, not rim shots, but no, this is not rim shots. This is it's pretty much just utilizing light and utilizing the blacks within themselves. So you'd expose for the highlights, and you'd really draw out those blacks. So it's just complete darkness, and you're bringing those highlights out. It looks like a woman with a sombrero kind of hat, summer kind of hat, and yeah, it's executed really well. It's just complete black. It kind of looks like a lampshade if you look at it like that. Yeah, this is done really well. It gives me Alan Schaller vibes. Yeah, I'd give this a 9 out of 10 as well. It's a really good fine art. Next up is Mark Allwood. This is shot on film, obviously. I'm not sure what film stock. I guess maybe Portrait 800. Just looking at the colours, the blues and the yellows kind of give me that vibe. Now, first of all, what ruins this shot for me personally is the eye contact. I know some people think eye contact's good because it can create that can make that moment enhanced more. But to me, there's not really a moment here. The only moment I can see is the three people behind, which is they're having some sort of conversation, and she's obviously noticed him, and this is obviously with flash, I assume. I do like this guy's shoes, by the way, but all in all though, it's not really a special moment. It's just more of a snap. Oh, I've seen people. There's nothing really special here. There's no scene really. Perhaps if she was joined on the conversation too, and there was maybe something else to fill up that negative space too, like, I don't know, like a dog or just something to fill in those gaps, it'd be a good photo. I'd give this one a 5 out of 10. Alright, next up is Matthew Toch, if that's how you pronounce it, I have no idea. Okay, off the bat, this non-central composition agitating me. I know that composition doesn't have to be perfect, but when you're trying to go for something central and you've obviously got it off, it's a bit annoying. You've either walked past and done a hip shot, which is completely fine, or you've stood back a bit and composed. And look, it's not that bad. I'd say it needs. Oh no, the straightening's not too bad. But all in all, I think what's appealed to him as a photographer is the red shirts, the blue jeans, the brown shorts, and the hats. And the glasses. This is obviously not juxtaposition, but it's just it's two subjects who have worn the same thing, and they stand out with this beige background. There's nothing really to it. I mean, there's just two people obviously having a chat, looking at, I assume, a beach. It looks like it would be a beach in front of them. But other than that, there's not really much to it. Nice lighting, whatever, but it's just a people snap. I'd give this one a 5 out of 10 as well. Next up is NKH Photography. Now, what the hell is this? It's just a wall. Aha! What a pun. It's just a wall. So there you go, it's just a wall. I don't know what you're trying to go with here. This aspect ratio is 9:16, so it's obviously taken on your phone through a story or something. It's quite obvious. I honestly have no idea what you're trying to portray here. You've seen a wall that says just, and there's a missing J. I don't know if that's what appealed to you. If you perhaps waited for a person to walk in the bottom right there, you could have had some kind of minimalistic approach, but this is literally nothing. So yeah, my only advice here is if you're going to do something like this, and you've framed it well for what it is, but at least have a subject. There's no subject here. Like, who wants to see? Anyone can go and look at that wall if they wanted to. There's nothing to it. 1 out of 10. Next one, Olivia K. Palm. Now, this is extraordinary. This is what they call ICM, which is intentional camera movement. So this is, I'd assume, at around 1/4, 1/8, or depends on how much you've moved the camera. I love the textures on it, which I'm not sure if that's in body or it's done in post. I'd assume in post. But what really, this looks like it's a family portrait or a family gathering. It looks like there's at least 3 people. There's a mother and 2 children, and the way the faces are morphing, the way the faces are warping, and just these trails, it's really awesome. So I love this kind of shots because they're mysterious and you don't really know what's going on, but you can use your imagination to whatever's going on. And what also makes this picture stand out is the asymmetrical black from white or black from grey, whatever. You can see on the left there's this negative space, this grey rectangle, and then on the right it's a lighter grey, and that really balances it out and gives it a nice composition and a nice overall exposure. So yeah, this one I'd give a 9 out of 10. Well done. Next up we've got Owen Lee. This is just some sort of beachfront cove kind of thing. First off, it's underexposed by a stop and a half, 2 stops at least, or maybe a stop and a half. Framing's a bit off. I'm not sure. Like you've centered there, but you've got the sky, you got a bit of the water, you got the house, and then you've just got these rocks. There's like 4 people you can see in it if you zoom in right here. Oh, there's another person down the bottom here, but you can't see them at all. They're lost in the shadows, lost in detail. Overall, this shot could be good if you exposed it properly and possibly tried to capture some silhouettes in it or something like that. But other than that, it's not really that good. I'd give this one a 3 out of 10. I'd say come back to this spot, wait for a good sunny day, possibly get some flares in the top right corner because that looks like where the sun's coming from. Get some flares, get a silhouette, get a moment or something to make this area actually appeal, because there's nothing to it here. Next, Pat Dirk. Okay, this is shot in Melbourne. This is on the Yarra River. There's a lady smoking. It's shot at like f3ish, 2.8 at the most. And she's got a cigarette here, and she's made eye contact. Now this is an example where eye contact actually works, because she's impacted the photo in a way that it kind of looks like a model, but it's not. I'm not sure if it is, but I don't know if it's posed or not, but it doesn't look posed to me. I like how he's framed it within these bars, and he's had her face in this, what you got, 1, 2, 3, in the 4th row here, and everything's visible. The depth isn't too shallow, so you can still make out the buildings. The exposure isn't too blown out. Yeah, it's overall a nice smoking shot. It's not a magical smoking shot, but it's nice. So I'd give this one a 6 out of 10. Second last, we've got Reza Street. This one just appeals to me straight away. You've got a lady in a granddad cap, or whatever the hell you call them. I don't know what era they came into play, like the 40s, 30s, 50s, I don't know. And she just looks dazed and confused. She's just daydreaming. Probably, this picture looks like it was taken at night, probably after a long day at work. She's just dazing into the wilderness. It looks like it's shot at a shallow depth of field, so everyone's blurred in the background, but not blurred to oblivion, so you can still make out that there's people in the background. It looks like it's a busy tram, so I'd say it's peak hour after work. And yeah, her expression just says it all. Like, it's a really good picture of emotions, and you know, I really like the sepiatic look to it as well. Honestly, I'd give this one a 9 or a 10. Maybe I'm not sure. I can't make up my mind. Probably a 9. Yeah, this one's really good. So well done, dude. All right. Last but not least, we've got Shoot Thrills. This one is shot in Sydney. Yep, you can see circular key. Yep, that's definitely Sydney. I know those trams. All right. First off, the focus, which isn't a bad thing. I'm just pointing it out. The focus is on the girl the person in the background. I think it's a bloke. Person in the background with their umbrella, which isn't a bad thing at all. This looks like it's shot at least f8. The shutter looks like probably 1.125 based on the movement here and the raindrops. This is it's really appealing. The subject doesn't have to always be the person who's closest to the camera. The eye's drawn to this guy, but it also immediately goes to the person in the umbrella. And you've got the tram there, which fills in those gaps. And to the right here, we've got another umbrella with a nice pattern, and then you can make out the rest of the background. It's obviously just, you know, it's a rainy day, and everyone's obviously just trying to get about their day, whatever. I really like the character at the front here. He looks in his, I don't know, around 60s or something. He's got a nice goatee. His eyes are covered, so it makes it a bit more mysterious and moody. Everything's framed pretty much really good, and the way the movements are with the umbrella person's legs open and his arms swinging. He's got a bag on him. He's all zipped up. You can see the raindrops on the ground. You can see the long raindrops. Yeah, this is a really good shot. It's not overexposed. The contrast isn't too massive, and it works really well. So yeah, well done. I give this one a 8 out of 10. Well done. Alright, so we've reached the end of the video, and it's time for ranking the top 3. So in first place, we have Jasmeet Singh. This photo, it's just, as I said before, it's a really good scene. It's composed really well, and this is really good. This is something that you could probably present to Magnum, and Steven Spielberg would definitely be impressed with this one. In second place, we've got Reza. As I said before, the expression on her face, it just really says it all. The depth, the framing, everything about it, really good. So you earn second place. And in third, we've got Oliver K. Palm. Because it's just I really love these kind of mysterious ICM shots, and the texture and the left and right shades. It just really works well. So congratulations, you earned third place. And for Jasmeet, well done for getting the best shot of the series. Sorry, not the series, the best shot of the episode. And yeah, if you guys want to go suss out his Instagram, I'll leave the link below, and you can go show your appreciation to him. Yeah, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learnt something out of this. I hope you can improve your compositions, improve your subjects, or anything that I've said. I hope it just improves your photography in general. If you do have any further questions, you can message me on Instagram. I'm always up for advice, or you can join my channel where I always upload some tips and tricks, do some polls, ask some questions, and get everyone involved. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode.